Hey everybody, Glad Dad here. I've got a good deck profile for you guys today. I've got my Swordsoul deck profile that I took to the OTS Championship case tournament that we had yesterday. So this is actually, for people watching in the future, it'll be a past deck list, but whatever. So I was going to be in top 8, but I bubbled out and got 9th place, which sucks, unfortunately. But for those of you who've seen the photo, we got a box and we got lucky. So this kind of makes up for the, getting bubbled out of top 8. But our record was 4-2. We had 4 wins, 2 losses. The only 2 losses I had was one was against Drytron, which I just happened to brick really bad. And then the second loss was against PK Brave, because he won the dice roll, scythe locked me game 1. Game 2, I think I opened up too many hand traps, not enough starters, and he had the answers to everything. So, but today we had regular locals, did decent, and then my entry packs, I pulled this beauty. So, out of this weekend, I'd say we had some pretty good luck here, But anyway, enough of, me showing flashy cards. We'll go ahead and get right into the deck profile. This is a combo tenyi Swordsoul, so it's not pure not the tenyi Swordsoul, but it's the combo variant that plays the Hulk. So first we're going to start off. We play triple Moyi. Hold on, let me see. Is this better? Oh, nope. Too far. Okay, we'll stay here. So we play triple Moyi, normal summon, reveal 1, get the token. I mean, the lineup's pretty similar. We played the triple Long Young, which is, discard 1 worm or Swordsoul card. You're supposed to summon, get a token. And then we play triple Ecclesia. 1 Fire Blossom for the deck, get you to Taya or Moyi. Then we play 2 Taya, no need for 3. 2's solid. Again, this is pretty standard for most Swordsoul players. Onto the tenyi engine that we play triple Veshuda. This card is bonkers. I love this card. This is like your best tenyi play starter. This card right here gets you straight into Hulk almost by itself, and it will literally, the Hulk combo just lets your opponent, baits all your opponent's hand traps essentially. Then we play 2 Veshuda. This is personal preference. For the upcoming regional, I may bump this to 3. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to debate on what I did the poll to see what you guys would like to see me play at the regional, but I'm still not 100% sure what I'm playing just yet. I'll do probably another poll here next week and see how we're doing. But right now, I still play the 2 Veshudas. Card's insane going second into a board, so I might bump it to 3. We're playing triple Adhara. This is like the backup tuner that you use on everything. This card being a level 1 tuner, and the fact that you can add back banished worm monsters allows you to loot back Moyi for follow-up. Last, we play 1 Shithana. Originally I didn't play this, but I added it in since Ogre became more prevalent, and it is an amazing card. You typically search it off with the Heavenly Dragon Circle. We do play the 1 brick, which is Despot, for the Auroradon combo. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get into the hand traps. I play triple Ogre. Ogre is way too good right now with the Brave engine, because you hit the Griffin, and they do not get the negate off of it. We play 2 Ash. I'm not playing 3 because I do not like Ash right now. I don't think Ash is a very good hand trap this format, unfortunately. So I decided to cut it down by 1 to make room for another card. Then we play 2 Valor. Valor, I don't like seeing 2 Valors in my hand. I like a Valor Imperm is fine, or Valor Ash is fine, or Valor Ogre is fine, but I do not like seeing 2 Valors, especially in my opening hand going first. So I cut it to 2 because I just kept seeing too many of it. And then we'll go ahead and do the honorary hand trap of triple Imperm. The reason I still play 3 Imperm and only 2 Valor is because at least with the Imperm you can set it and it interacts with columns and stuff like that, so it's a little bit more beneficial than Valor. Especially since Imperm plays around the Herald and stuff, so that way you can Imperm on your, through your opponent's stuff. Onto the spells, we play Triple Emergence, which is the Rhoda of the deck. Searches any Swordsoul monster from the deck. We play Triple Vessel. This card is absolutely bonkers. This +1 tenyi is full combo. I've had a lot of opponents actually ash this because they know that it's full combo, so... but you dump one to the grave, then you add one. So typically I'll dump like Veshuda for bouncing if I'm going second, and then adding Adhara to go into Hauk to bait, or I will dump the Ashuna for follow-up plays. Triple Heavenly Dragon Circle. This card, I get Protoss is banned, and a lot of people cut this after Protoss got banned. But this card allows you to dodge Ogre, it dodges Valor, it dodges Imperm. This card is amazing. And then Triple Forbidden Droplet. I do main deck it. I think it needs to be main decked with DPE Scythelock. I should main deck Chalice too. I've been thinking about maybe cutting Circle to 2 instead of 3, and maybe Vessel to 2, maybe Emergence to 2, just to make room for Chalice, because the DPE Scythelock it's very degenerate and it's just annoying. I feel like Swordsoul is one of the best decks this format because it's very mid-range, it's very fair, it doesn't make a broken board, it just makes a lot of interactions, which is really nice in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Swordsoul is definitely a solid, good go-to deck, and it's actually gotten a lot cheaper, so... then we play the One Desires, even though I hate this card with a burning passion. We play one because it's just a 1-of now, and also because our deck is over 40 cards. I believe my list is 46. I mean, I can count it here when we're done. And the reason I believe this deck is fine at 46 is because you have so many ways to get everything you need with just one card. Like the Tenyis thin out your deck, the Swordsoul thin out your deck. It just, everything is good. So you could play this, and since you play a lot of 3-ofs, this is fine. And for the only trap I play is I play 2 Blackout. I was playing one Blackout, and then right before the OTS tournament, I noticed, a lot of times you'll have to like banish one of the Blackouts, or you'll banish it off Desires, or sometimes you don't want to have to waste a search on it. So I went ahead and added the second one in right before the tournament and decided to play it, and it performed fantastic. There's a lot of times I would open up with it in hand, so I didn't have to search it off the Chi-Xiao, and I could just go ahead and search my Long Young to keep my plays going, set this, and have an interruption my opponent does not know about because he did not know that I searched it. So I like this card at 2. I think it's very solid at 2, especially since going into like game 2 and 3, you can side one out. That's fine. But that's it for the main deck. The main deck is actually 1, 2, 3... 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Yes, okay, so I was correct. Sorry about that. The deck list is 46 cards, but it performs, like, phenomenal. Like, I love the deck. You brick very often, and when you do brick, most of the time it's just you have too many hand traps, which is weird because our hand trap count is only, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because I don't like to go over 10, so it's very rare that you brick in this, especially with it being 46 cards. But I will go ahead and we'll get into the extra deck here. I play Double Monk, pretty typical in this variant. If you're playing the non-Hauk variant, you probably play 3 Monk because you're going to play the Shaman as well. I do not play the Shaman in this build because Shaman almost never comes up. We do play the Hauk, as you guys saw the Despot in the main deck. We do play the Auroradon, which I feel this card needs to just get killed. You either ban Auroradon or ban Hauk, and just end, that whole dilemma. 2 Chi-Xiao. You do not need a third. I think 2 is fine. You don't really, you go in the second one in the grind game if you don't kill them after the first one. 1 Yang Zing of the... Yazi of the Yang Zing. Oops, my bad. 1 Yazi. I like Yazi. You mostly use it off the Auroradon play, or you can go into it to pop a card to get rid of an opponent's card. This card helps you out the token collector with Shatana and Ecclesia. 2 Boxia. Insane card. Allows you to make the Herald and still go into make the Yazi and stuff like that, and still great for going second. Most of the time going second, you'll make this over Chi-Shao because you can force your opponent's cards and negates and stuff. The only card I feel that's degenerate in this deck is Chao Fang, and it's only degenerate to the Mirror Match and to Eldritch and other light decks. So, I mean, other than that, you know, this card's insane also, because I mean, the ability to beat something over and then special worm from deck is insane, or if it just destroyed, it floats. This card is really good. You mostly make it off of the Death Spot when you use the box to bring back the Death Spot from the graveyard. 1 Draco Berserker, tenyi. Sometimes I'll make this instead of Chi-Shao going first, depending on what my opponent's playing, because just the banish alone is scary. This also outs your Drew. This is your out to Drew card. That or this guy, Ching-Ying. Ching-Ying is amazing. This guy is so good to play around DPE and everything. This card is the nuts. This card, though, this card put in so much work for me. This is the new guy, the Sinister Sovereign. I typically make this going first with Chi-Shao and Blackout Set and some stuff like that, because this guy burns for 2,400 when you use both effects. But the ability to banish 2 cards from your opponent, you know, the special summon a monster that you banish it, burn them for 12, or the ability to banish a spell trap or an effect of a spell trap that they activate is insane. Like, against Eldritch, this card is bonkers. I love it. Last 10, which you guys already knew, was Baron de Fleur. I do not like making this card first. I think it is bad going first. I much rather make this because this applies way more pressure to your opponent going first. But this card is insane going second. It just helps you crack boards. And then Herald of the Arclight is my last one in the extra deck, because, I mean, you just make it... I mean, typically you'll end on, like, Herald, Baron, and then... Well, not Baron, but I'll end on Herald, this guy, and Chi-Shao. Or you can, you know, if you prefer Baron or Chang-Ying, you can just end on the Chang-Ying, Baron, or whatever with the Herald. The Herald just prevents them from dropletting your board. It's also another, it's a free Omni Negate, so that way if you don't want to make the Baron, you have this Omni Negate on top of the burn. So onto the side deck. Now remember, this side deck caters more to my locals, but my locals is pretty heavy with like the decks that are on the format right now. Not very many people are playing Rogue. That's kind of why I had to switch it up. And with Ogre being prevalent on the format, it's really hard to play Glads right now, because Ogre on the Panther really hurts. And then with everybody also maining / siding Nib at our locals, it's really hard. But I play Triple Lightning Storm. I think this card will forever be in my side deck. It is one of my favorite like side deck cards. The fact that it just says, you know, bye to like with their monsters or back row, it's really nice. It's just very good in the back row matchup, because this deck doesn't like back row very much. The 1 Pankratops, again, back row. This card just came in clutch today. Lancia for the mirror, because you can turn off their tenyi engine for the turn, then you just have to play, they play just Swordsoul if they have it. Also PK, any other like rogue deck that banishes a lot, Tri Brigade, because I know there's still bird up out there. This card is just insane, this format still. It also turns off the adventure engine, so I play 2 Nib because I don't feel Nib is very strong right now. I mean, it is good. Like, I maybe resolved this card maybe 2 times yesterday. Once in the mirror match, and then once against Phantom Knights. So, like, you could cut the third, or you could make room for the third if you really wanted to. Like, maybe cut a Storm for the third, or just main deck 1. It don't matter. I mean, this deck can go up to, like, I believe 50, 60 cards and still run perfectly fine. I think Nib is decent right now. Like, I don't think it's broken, but I think it's decent. You know, if you have it, play it. If you don't, there's other options. This card, though, is insane right now, because Drytron is still a thing. Rogue, Phantom Knights, Adventure Engine. You know, this card is, this is the MVP right here. This card is MVP. And then last but not least, 3 Twin Twister. Like I said, you really hate back row matchups, and the reason you play Twister in this deck over Cyclone, which you could play Cyclone if you wanted, so because of the Scythe lock. Or Chalice, you could play that too, but I play this because you can pitch all your tenyis off of it and get your instant started. But that's it for the deck. I mean, I really like the deck. Like I said, I went 4-2. Should have been top 8, but unfortunately, due to tiebreakers and stuff, I bubbled out into 9th, which was me. But, you know, this definitely made up for it. And then, you know, walking in and pulling this today, awesome. But again, thank you guys for, you know, watching, subscribing, everything. I noticed we hit 700. I love you guys. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to keep the deck list coming, the combo videos coming, the tutorials coming, everything. I'll definitely update you guys in, you know, in between rounds and stuff like that when the regional comes. The regional, I think, is coming up here in like 2 weeks on the 26th. So I will be going to the Indianapolis regional. So please do let me know if you're going to be there. And I would like to, you know, meet some people, hang out, maybe do some stuff. But I do have another deck profile coming up that I'm going to upload tonight as well with this one. So it's my friend Victor and his DDD profile. So stay tuned, guys. But peace out. I will see you guys next time in the Coliseum.